Hello everybody and welcome back to Hearts of Iron 4, where we just had China fall, and that is, of course, absolutely fantastic. I'm also on a bit of a new setup here. Things might look or sound slightly different. It's a work in progress. Hopefully, things aren't going to be too different, but things are definitely changed on the back end, so fingers crossed that it's not too noticeable. So for now, of course, China has just fallen. And that is, of course, a pretty big deal. So with that happening, we now want to immediately go in and start working on redesigning our tank. That is mission number 1 here. So let's build an armored vehicle, and I'm going to build this off of a modern tank chassis. So we're going to need to create a variant of this. And we want this to be a significant amount of breakthrough, right? So we're going to use a modern turret. And as far as our main armament goes, what is our best armament for breakthrough here? So none of these actually modify breakthrough here. Do any of these? Nope. And in the medium armaments? Actually, yes. So medium armaments is about where we want to be. Okay, so the best armament for breakthrough here, which is what we're optimizing this for, is the improved medium cannon. So we'll slot that right on in there. We can look at getting an improved radio, which will, of course, improve our breakthrough. That sounds great. We can also look at potentially improving our breakthrough with something like armor skirts. Seems decent. What else do we have here? Well, autoloader would do the trick. And what else do we have for special modules? Well, extra ammunition storage would actually do it as well. And stabilizer. Actually, stabilizer would be better, so we'll take that for now. Now, our max speed is a little low, our reliability is pretty good, but we do want to max this out. So that's, going to be kind of rough on the max speed. Actually, the max speed isn't that bad. That's going to be kind of rough on the reliability. So we could take a look at what we want to get here. 60% reliability from the torsion bar. Okay. And then our armor type is mostly going to be affecting our hardness, our armor, and our other defensive stats. Breakthrough is one of them. So the best breakthrough here is welded armor. Okay, that sounds good. And then our engine type, I would be interested in boosting the reliability here somewhat. So the diesel engine. Okay, our max speed isn't the highest in the world, but this'll do. So we'll go ahead and save that. I'm not going to upgrade our flame tanks. Those are going to remain where they're at. I think they're absolutely fine. But I do want to swap over our interwar medium tank over to modern tank chassis. Did that actually? No, that's down here. Okay, we don't want that down here. I wanted to swap this guy to our modern tank chassis. There we go. So we're going to get that going. Now, we don't currently utilize that, I believe. Yeah, there's no template for that. So that is expected. We want to alter our armored division. So for now, we're going to change this from medium tanks to modern tanks. And we're going to need to do that across the board for each one of these. So that'll be fine. I'm not going to change anything else about these divisions. For the moment, I was pretty happy with that. We're just going to upgrade the tanks. And if we need to change things in this division, we will. So we'll save that for now. That'll be good. And broadly, other than that, things are pretty okay. The main difference is I would like to see about upgrading all of these if there are upgrades to be done. So infantry equipment 3, let's check here. Upgrade with latest traits. Yes. So we want to put that in. Is that the correct infantry equipment? I'm not entirely certain. Potentially. So, yeah, it should be. Okay, so the civilian train, I don't believe has any upgrades to be done. That is correct. Let's go for the advanced anti-air next. So let's see if we can upgrade that guy. We absolutely can, and we will do that. Okay, so that looks good. Next up is our advanced artillery. So that's this lad right here. We'll get him upgraded. Looks good. The modern tank chassis we already started, and that's going to require a lot of production efficiency to ramp up. That's going to take some time. No doubt about that. Support equipment, is there even any upgrade to be done there? No, there is not. Okay, so that is fine. We can take a look at our trucks, potentially. Actually, yes. So we'll upgrade that truck. Our flame tank. Now, the flame tank is not really going to be upgraded at all. I do want to do this upgrade all modules button, but other than that, this is probably relatively fine. So we'll just get that going. Civilian train, I don't believe has an upgrade to be done. And we shouldn't for our submarines. We've not really worked on our Navy at all. So for the moment, that is fine. I do want to start getting some aircraft going here. Specifically, well, actually, I'm going to wait on that still. I think that's reasonably fine to do. So we can grab ourselves a naval doctrine here. That'll be something along the lines of undersea blockade. That looks good. And from there, what else are we interested in grabbing here? Well, we need more rubber. That's fine. We have some free civilian factories at this moment, and we should definitely do something about that. I do want to do a region-wide industrial integration. We'll do that. An ultra-nationalist coup in Lithuania. That's interesting. So we can definitely get to work on that sort of thing if we wanted to. I'm not 100% certain that we want to. For the moment, we definitely want to get some construction going here. So infrastructure anywhere we can. We're just going to completely max all of this out. That looks good. Including locations that are within our vassals at this point. So we're going to just max out anywhere that we can, and we absolutely want to take over that area. I forgot about communist Kishijuj. We're definitely going to head up there shortly. So this is all our territory now, and we need to max out our infrastructure up here as kind of mission number 1. So that looks good. Anything down this way? Well, I mean, New South Wales has some territories that can be worked on in that regard. Okay, so that seems reasonably good there. There are some areas in our vassals up over this way that can be done. And apparently we forgot about this area down over here. That is reasonably fine. So we'll get all of that finished up. We're building fairly quickly. But getting that infrastructure done is going to be kind of the first process here. We do have a lot of factories that we could build. Do we want to build military factories or civilian factories? How many free military factories do we have right now? 42. So I kind of feel like we maybe should build civilian factories, believe it or not. It's kind of wild, I know, but I kind of feel like we should. So we're going to get some of these going. Yes, also in our vassal territories. They can convert those over as they need to. So that'll be okay. We'll just get all of these completed for the time being. So that is mission number 1, I think. I think that comes before our infrastructure. Yeah, it should. It should. Okay, so we're going to get all of that built. There we go. And in all of our new Chinese territory, our shiny new Chinese territory, we're going to get all of this built as well. Looks good. Okay. So there's a fair amount of Chinese factories to be built here. No doubt about that. We can get going on that, and there should be some up through here. Yep, that all looks good. And down here, is this our territory? That is. Okay, gotcha. And in our vassal territory out over here, we can absolutely queue up. Apparently we can't queue up anything here. That's interesting. Whatever. In New South Wales, we'll get a little bit queued up. That'll be fine. Looks good. Okay, so that's going to be a bunch of civilian factories. That'll keep our factories busy for a while. Now, I do want to take a couple of armies, specifically this one, and I'm going to tell them to come up here to Communist Kishijuj, because we're going to want to take that over. And we are also going to frontline here with these guys. I don't think that took. No, it did. It just didn't update. I guess they're just overwriting each other. Sure. So we're going to take this over quite quickly. Oh, the day-night cycle is on. Right. Okay, that would be a thing. I'm going to turn that off because it can be vaguely annoying. Where is that? I know it's in here somewhere. I know it can be turned off. Okay. It's definitely here somewhere. I will find it eventually. But maybe not right now. Maybe it's in a different options other than game options? That's the playthrough overview. Yeah, that's not helpful. Well, the day-night cycle is on. I don't usually have this on. So this could be interesting. Hang on. OBS, are you broken? How long ago did OBS break? While we were building these. 1 second here. Okay. I'm going to have to check the VOD and see if that was actually broken. If that was, that's going to be a problem. We'll see how that ends up going. Okay, so we definitely want to start justifying over here, and I'll keep an eye on if OBS breaks again on us. If so, we'll need to do something about that. Find some sort of an option to fix that one. But I do want to start justifying on these lads as soon as we can. When is that going to be finished? 11 February. Okay, sounds good. So, where was that option at? I swear it's in here. There's definitely a day-night cycle option in here somewhere, but I'm not seeing it here. Okay. I just personally, when we're running on these higher speeds, I like the effect. It just is kind of annoying to me, right? So I usually turn it off. This infantry division can be moved into this army. That'll be fine. It's definitely in there. I know that for a fact. I'm just blind. I have to find it. Okay, where are we? So these are all of the video options here. VSync, 3D trees, shadows, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, that's all fine. It's definitely in here. But where? But where? I can't believe I'm failing to find that option. Okay. That is very sad, for sure. I guess we'll play like this for now, and the day-night cycle will need to get turned off at a certain point. No doubt about that. I wonder if that was the OBS preview, or if OBS itself was actually, like, not recording there for a little bit. It wasn't too long. It certainly wasn't too long, but these infantry divisions can head out over here for now. We're just fabricating over here for right now, and world tension is going to continue to be a thing. That's going to continue to ramp up, and for the moment, our biggest concern isn't going back to war. I would be interested in going back to war, but not exactly yet. Specifically, the reason why we're not exactly interested in going back to war yet is because we're working on upgrading our tanks, right? Our modern tank chassis here. So this is being worked on, and we are reinforcing this up to about... that's progressing very slowly. Very, very slowly. But as this production efficiency goes up, that will get a lot better. Oh, my apologies. I forgot that the hotkey for my mute button is currently non-functional. Things have changed here, and it'll take a moment to get used to that. I will have to find a workaround for that, but I don't have one just yet. So I'll just have to keep that in mind as well for the moment. So we got a couple of additional upgrades finished up here, and we are certainly going to go for... I think we'll just go for anti-tank. That'll be fine. We can continue to work our way through that, and over this way, I'd like to work on, say, advanced large airframes. We'll get going on that. I want to get jet engines soon enough. We're going to require guided missiles for that. Where are guided missiles at here? Ah, okay, experimental rockets. So we will begin to research that. That sounds good. We have a doctrine available, which is going to, of course, end up being... werewolf gorillas. Sure, that'll be absolutely fine. No problem there. Okay, so everything is looking reasonably fine as far as all this goes. We just have a little bit of a delay here until we have this fabricated, right? So that's okay. I wouldn't mind justifying on Ukraine eventually as well. This is going to generate some world tension. This is going down by how much? 0.5 per month, with a minimum of 25. Okay, that is absolutely noted. We do eventually want to take over Ukraine. The question is this a right now thing? Because we are still pretty low on our amount of tanks, right? And we're working on producing enough modern tank chassis for all of these to actually train. We no longer get the effects from nationalism. Okay, that's noted. We do have a decent amount of manpower here. We're actually still mobilizing. which is really solid. Yeah, that's not bad at all. Our eligible non-core population is not super available at 0.2%, but that'll be reasonably fine. We are currently working on, let's see, the resistance strength is coming up here, but the compliance strength is coming up faster. So I'm not too concerned about these areas down here. They should be reasonably fine. Yeah, no major issues there. So that is all absolutely okay for right now. We do have free military factories. We could toss more of these into producing modern tanks. Advanced medium airframes have finished up. I'm going to toss 10 into producing additional modern tanks, and that'll be fine. We can hop in here and work on grabbing some of these, like, weaponry. So we can grab heavy bombs for now. I'd like to get our air online before we really ramp up the world tension. That'll be good. And we can upgrade something here, like, for example, bomber aircraft specialists. Sure. So we can grab that for the moment. Excellent. And this is an armored division that finished up. Okay, that sounds good. So hopping down to Communist Kishijuj here, we can take a look at what we've got going on here. We are not going to be able to attack them for a while yet, but they have absolutely no military. They can't stop us. So that's great. Ukraine, on the other hand, they do have a military, and that is definitely mildly concerning. So we'll see what ends up happening with that. Military Police 4 have finished, and I do want to take a look at what else we might want to take here. Actually, all of this is basically where we want it to be, so that's not really a problem. We can hop into air here and start working on survivability studies. So that will be absolutely fine. I just can't believe that I haven't been able to find the day-night cycle in here. It's definitely here, right? It has to be. I'm very sad about that. Okay, whatever. I will find it at some point. Cool. So we're going to be attacking over here as soon as we can. That's going to be a couple months out, and we're really not too concerned about that at all. We're not very concerned in the slightest. We've got a lot of factories working on construction. That all seems good. This is an infantry division. Okay, we'll move that down into this army group here. This really should probably be made into a new army group. So we can take these two and actually just move it into a new army group like this. We're going to need a field marshal for this, of course. And we are going to promote this guy. There we go. And now we're going to need to promote this guy up, but we can't promote him because we need more CP. Okay. So that is reasonably fine for the moment. We'll get to that. So we needed, what, like an extra 15? Did that say? Yeah, that's what we need. Okay, that's fine. We can definitely wait on that. We're going to continue to work in our airframes here, or actually our air weaponry. So that'll be absolutely okay as well. We also currently have an air doctrine available. We'll take ground support integration. Sounds great. So we still have some free military factories here. Specifically, we've got 30 of them. So I think that our infantry equipment is upgrading. I'm okay with this being where it's at. The big thing that we need right now is tanks. I'm going to put 10 more factories into tanks. We've still got 30 factories available. And a lot of those factories are going to end up going into airframes. So that seems relatively okay to me. No major issues there. We can grab another region-wide industrial integration, which we'll happily do. So that all seems absolutely great. The next question, of course, is how long on this fabrication? That should be pretty quick, right? Well, not the quickest thing in the world. Not the quickest thing in the world at all. But it'll be done in about 50 days, so that is fine. We have this unassigned division here. In fact, only the one unassigned division. I definitely want to assign that into this army. We need a lot more armored divisions. No doubt about that. We do need a few more infantry divisions. I'd like to have 2 army groups going for right now. So that'll be reasonably fine. But our big problem at this moment is our lack of production for our modern tank chassis, right? We are producing about 10 per day right now, which is pretty good, for sure. But that is going to ramp up, and we have a lot that we need for reinforcement here. We can see we need almost 7,000 modern tanks for reinforcement. So that is definitely going to take some time. And our recruitment is still a little bit awkward here. We can see that not a single one of these is maxed out on their modern tanks, right? So that definitely needs production. And that is why we're not too concerned about going to war just yet. We have a bunch of infantry divisions over here that we can sort in. That looks good. And let's begin work on heavy MG. Actually, yeah, heavy MG. That'll be fine. We just finished up research on experimental rockets, so we're going to do the basic guided missile. That'll be absolutely fine, and we're going to be starting this up in about a month, a little bit under. So that all looks good. In theory, that all looks good. And now I just kind of don't have anything to say for the next month. Excellent. Absolutely perfect. Well, we're going to be finishing up a research soon, most likely. Oh yeah, definitely. There's a bunch of researches that are going to be finishing very shortly. So that is all good. We'll grab Cannons 1. Perfect. And next up, we can absolutely make our way to air-launched torpedoes. We'll just make our way through all of this. Now, the Advanced Large Airframe just finished, and that is fine. We'll grab Aircraft Construction. And we are still lacking some rubber. So that is noted. Even with this rubber flowing through, we are lacking rubber. So to that end, we could make like some synthetic oil plants or something along those lines. Do we have any rubber coming in from down here? There's a little bit. So we've got this rubber here. I believe that we don't control this rubber. Yeah, that is correct. Okay. Well, we do have an armored division here, and our justification of conquering Samara is now finished. So this infantry division will go here. And this armored division will go here. Perfect. And we have a research slot available, so I'm going to then grab range improvements. We'll get that going. And we're going to declare this war immediately, but this is going to be very, very minimal, right? So we're going to do a Conquer War Goal. This is going to ratchet up the world tension a little bit. That is understood. And these guys are going to offensive line. Honestly, this is fine. So in we go. They have nothing, right? I'm just going to move the awkward path. Very awkward path. Okay, sure. We're going to go in this way. So that's fine, and they have capitulated. Perfect. So that is absolutely according to plan. Next up is going to be Ukraine. So I'm going to have this army group have this front line. Now, Belarus up here is a little bit awkward for us. No doubt about it. Yeah, that'll make things a little awkward. It's going to drastically increase the length of that line. So that's okay. This infantry division will head in, not here, but actually into a new army. Ah, right. We need to take this. So we'll submit these demands. I'm a little surprised that that took that long. But we'll submit those demands, and we can confirm an exit. Excellent. So that is great. At this point, of course, we can come out over here and queue up the infrastructure here. Actually, that's already queued. And any factories that we can make over here? Sure. We can actually make one out over here that we missed. And actually, those are probably region-wide industrial integration, now that I think about it. So that'll be okay. We're just preparing for this war with Ukraine. If we were to justify here, this would be 6% world tension. Okay. I'm just seeing if any of these are faster. Not really. So we're going to start justifying on Kursk. Sounds good. So we're moving these forces over. These guys could also be moved over and just frontline here. So that would be something like this. And that's fine, I guess. We can certainly do that. This unit should move in here, and we're going to need a leader for that. But what we want first is we want to promote this guy. There we go. And now we're going to need to promote a lesser commander here, but we need a fair amount of command power for that, 40 in total. Okay, so we'll have to wait on that front. Seems good. It is, however, time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that, and next episode, I'll have figured out how to change the day-night cycle. That'll be a good thing. No doubt about that. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings. And a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible. Yes, that font is different. That is also a work in progress. So that is certainly being worked on. Including ALS Gamer, Shadow Wolf, Kentogan, Ali Lee, Upper Cumberland Gamers, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, Soccerman12 UK, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.